Jacques, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, something that we're both very passionate about and willing to talk about it. I just want to know from you why it feels now more important than ever to have those open, honest discussions around mental health.
I think these days, mate, it's very judged, mental health, but I think it is getting better.
Yeah.
People are talking about it more, and I think people need to. The road's tough. It's not easy. You know, life's getting harder for everyone. And I think when you're very enclosed about it, not open about it, it gets a lot harder.
Yeah.
So I just think this day and age as well, you know, whatever they're doing in the world, they're making it harder for us. And even with social media, man, like that world, everyone expects to be up here all the time. And I think I've struggled with that in the past, wanting to be up there all the time. And I think it's about finding a balance and just enjoying it.
Yeah,
just enjoying the ride instead of stressing about it all the time.
Yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Just want to go back, mate, to a bit earlier on in your childhood. Obviously diagnosed with ADHD age of 9. Was it?
Yeah.
Mate, to me that's so crazy to be diagnosed at such a young age and put you on tablets straight away at that age.
Yeah.
How does that, when you look back now, tell me a little bit about being diagnosed with ADHD at first and the impact you believe it had on you now.
Well, at the age of 9, I didn't really care, you know.
Yeah.
I think my mum cared, but at a young age, you don't really take it in until you get a bit older. And I think going on tablets, I used to hate being on tablets when I was young. It used to change me as a person. And I used to get home on a weekend and used to celebrate that my mum didn't make me have them on the weekend. But she probably should have, or I wouldn't have got grounded as much. But no, mate, I think ADHD, you can see it as a superpower, or you can see it as a negative. And, you know, sometimes I see it as a negative, but most of the time I feel like I've got it under control now. And yeah.
Tell me what it was that pre-diagnosis that made your mum, obviously she would have been struggling at times with pretty hard work. What was it? What was your behaviours? What was the almost trigger for your mum to think, right, there's probably something else here?
Probably the same reasons as MASH and you and all the other boys think about me at training, to be honest. They're probably the behaviours, you know, probably the same. So I'm not going to say too much, but you already know.
Yeah. And just touching on your mum, mate, I know how special your mum is to you. You know, before your debut the other week, we had a beautiful video that I organised from your mum, and you know, I think it brought everyone in the room to tears almost.
Yeah.
That part of the game was so special, way bigger than rugby that was. Just tell me about a little bit about your mum and what she means to you.
Yeah, my mum's a rock, mate. Obviously, I don't even like talking about my mum.
Yeah.
Hate talking about my mum. No, my mum's my rock. Obviously, she's been a single parent. She brought 3 kids up by herself. You know, didn't have a penny to scratch her ass with, to be honest. But she did an amazing job. And my birthday yesterday, we went out for a meal last night, and I made sure I told her that, you know, there's not often, I feel like, around our age and like trying to be a man and not trying to show too much emotion or anything like that. It's hard to turn around to your mum and say, you know what, mum, you've done a good job. But I made sure of that last night. I made sure I told my mum, you know, you've done a very good job, mum. I'm really proud of you. And thank you. And she got a bit emotional when I actually told her last night. But like I say, I think mental health awareness and all this, your parents are going through it without you realising.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, because you're looking up to your parents, I feel like they keep a lot of stuff in and they don't actually tell you what's going on. But yeah, just be there for your parents as well. As much as you need them, they need you. So
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Obviously, we both have that similarity where we both was raised by single parents, and You know, my mum's exactly the same. Brought 5 of us on her own, and you know, times were tough. And it's probably not till we get a little bit older when we appreciate that and understand just how tough it
Yeah,
was
of
for him, is
course.
it? And there's part of that I want to touch on. Something I've always done, mate, and I've always struggled with it until real recently is opening up and speaking about how you're feeling. I think because I didn't understand what emotions really were. But then I think there's a part of it that's almost passed down from generations. Like my mum was one of those that would just crack on and make sure that we had everything, and she probably went without at times.
Yeah.
And I just think it was a generational thing that was passed down, not speaking, and this is why I think this is so important for us now to almost break that, you know, generational curse, and
Yeah.
being able to go and say to your mum, you know what, I'm proud of you, like thank you,
Yeah, 100%.
and these type of things. How did you handle growing up and trying to deal with your emotions when not really understanding, and how did you deal with that? Was you one that would go out and speak to people, or
No, I've never really told people how I feel. I still don't like it now.
yeah,
And that's
it's
why
tough, innit?
I get awkward when I had to speak in front of the group last week when I was making my debut, and I can't speak because I get quite overwhelmed when I do talk. But I feel like with age, I am getting a little bit better. I don't like to get better because I don't like to speak, but it is so
Yeah.
important to actually like talk to your pal, talk to your family, because you never know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So
Of course.
I think it is very important these days.
And a little bit I do want to touch on, mate, and it's something we've spoke about privately, and it's something that I want to open up on, I want to share about, because it's such a taboo subject at the minute, and people speak about it a lot, and a lot of people hide away from the fact. But therapy and reaching out for help and seeking therapy, I think for me it's something I've probably dipped in and out of over the past 4 or 5 years, and part of it's because I didn't want to do it. Deep down, I really didn't want to do it, and now over the past, let's say, 8 to 12 months, it's something that I've fully submerged in, and it's changed my life. It's changed my perspective. And what would you say therapy means to you, and how has it helped you?
See, I was exactly the same with therapy. Someone mentioned, when I come off the show years ago, obviously, that I was in a bit of a bad place, and someone mentioned therapy to me, and no, I don't need therapy.
that.
I'm too strong for therapy.
Yeah.
I don't need this, I don't need that. But I feel like you really do need to change your way you look on things. Like, is a glass half empty or half full?
Yeah.
And I look at therapy now as a positive. Like, I can only gain knowledge,
Of course.
and I can only gain like positives from that. And I'll take away what I want to take away from it. Nothing like, if that doesn't help that day, then I'm not bothered.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like there is a bit of a stigma around that. Oh, he's doing therapy. He's in a bad
broken.
place. Yeah, I'm in the best place I've ever been in my life, and I still see my therapist. I don't need to.
Yeah.
But I like to, because I gain knowledge every time I go.
Yeah, I think that's really important. It's something that I'll continuously do, and I think the bit you mentioned there about gaining knowledge and understanding yourself, that was the biggest thing for me. I probably went through 26 years of my life not really knowing who I was. I was asked a question in one of my first therapy sessions, and it rattled me.
It hits you.
And I sat there for 5 minutes, mate, and I couldn't answer it. And it was, who is Liam without rugby? So not Liam the rugby player, who is Liam Harris?
Yeah.
And I couldn't answer it. And it really rattled me. And it's only now recently that I've started to understand actually who I am, and not trying to seek validation from others or any external factors.
Yeah.
And that leads me on to something that I want to speak to you about external factors. Is when you obviously went into Love Island, it was on the back of a pretty serious injury. You went in Love Island, did your thing. I didn't really watch it, so I wasn't too sure what had gone on. We've touched on bits previous, but tell me the place you was in coming out of Love Island, because from the outside looking in, you had everything. You were almost an embarrassment of riches, we would say, like from the outside looking in. But I know that isn't the case. Tell me how was that period of your life?
Jesus Christ, it was a lot. It was a lot. A lot of stuff thrown at me at a certain amount of time when I wasn't ready for it. And yeah, like you say, you were looking in and you think, I've got this, I've got that, like, whatever. Like, to me, I was at my lowest point I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And that was just driving me to drink, eat.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a, it was a bit of a rough time, I'm not gonna lie. But it probably the most I ever had, like, of jobs, like, whatever. But I really didn't care about anything.
Yeah.
Like, nothing mattered at that point. So it's, like, I think, like I said before, social media, you think someone's so happy and so this. They're not. Well, they might be. But who actually cares anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who actually gives a f***? You know, I really don't care what people think these days. And I used to. I come off that show thinking, oh, like it's, you know, a lot of people are watching me these days now and I have to do this for them and I have to do this and I have to... And I was living my life for other people.
Yeah, of course.
When now I live for me and no one else, you know, and because I'm living for me, I can be better for the people I actually care about.
Yeah, that's
like,
huge.
The people I don't care about, me,
irrelevant.
Yeah, what are you to me? Yeah. It doesn't really matter. As long as I've got that circle close and they're happy, that's all I want.
Just want to circle back on that. I just want to understand how you say the worst time of your life. How did that look? What does that look like for Jacques O'Neill?
It just wasn't a nice place. Yeah,
I remember you.
I was 103 kg put it that way, and I couldn't go out my house.
Yeah, so, that's the part I just was going to touch on. I remember you telling me, you know, you didn't leave your house, you couldn't leave your house. You thought everybody was on top of you, and you had the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it was the last thing you wanted to do. That must have been a really tough time, not only for you, but those around you, especially your mum at that time. She must have felt a big effect on seeing you like that.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, let's just say it wasn't a nice place for anyone around me. But did I have anyone around me at the point?
Yeah.
I felt like I was so lonely at that point. I had no one.
Yeah.
You know, people would say this and say that to me. I'm like, I don't bothered about me anyway.
Yeah.
You know what's it matter of?
They was interested because you was popular at that time.
Not even that. Yeah, my head was that messed up. I don't know. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just happy I'm away from that. And
of course.
that's all that matters.
Mate, what I want to touch on is now the journey you're on is moving back into rugby league, and obviously we spoke about you making your debut the other week. What did that mean? What did that mean to you? We spoke about you coming out of there not being in a good place, and you've probably tried 100 different things and nothing quite clicked the way that rugby clicks for you. What does now being back in this, chasing that dream, being happy in this space, what does that mean to you?
You say chasing. I generally don't think I'm chasing these days. It's I'm just generally happy, and I just feel like being back in rugby, I will admit it saved my life, 100%. Obviously we spoke about that last week, and I signed at York just thinking I'll see how it goes. I don't know, I just needed something to shift the mindset of I'm a useless piece of to I need to feel proud of myself. I need to feel alive again, and rugby's brought that 100%. It's brought that back, and I can only see things getting better and just growing and growing as a person now. So yeah, I can only thank the club. I can't really thank the club, you know, for doing what they've done for me, bringing me to this club, and yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I remember when we'd first signed you, and I think Clint had mentioned it to me and Mash, and I was like, right, well, the Jacks I know obviously didn't watch Love Island, so I didn't have any judgment of you from there. The Jacks I know was that mad head at Cast Tigers, young lad that would run around and try and bang everybody. Now, when you signed, I think it took you a session or two to prove any doubt that in anybody's single mind in our room, and that's all that matters here. Isn't it? Them four walls of our team. That's all the opinions that matter to us. And it took a real short amount of time to realise this kid isn't here for a laugh. This, like, I remember giving you trainer of the week.
Yeah,
in the first week.
Yeah.
You know, you shocked everyone how hungry he was, and your desire is probably something that I've never seen before from an individual within a sporting group. How hungry he was to get this back into your life and to improve yourself as well, more than anything. Have you ever been that dedicated?
No, never. No, even when, you know, everything was going my way at Cass when I played, I was doing all right, and you know, I was never as dedicated and had this hunger I have now. But I feel like you hear everyone talk about it, you know, and I feel like once you hit a certain low point, it gives you a different type of fuel.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I don't want to be beating anything. I don't, you know, I want to be up early and everyone. It's not even about rugby.
Yeah.
I just want to be the best person I can be. And me being that will make me a pretty good rugby player as well. So
Yeah,
I'll carry on doing that.
Yeah, it's been really infectious, mate, having you around this place and driving standards without realising just how much you compete. I think that's probably the biggest compliment anyone can give you as a rugby player or as a person. You're so competitive and driven. It's a pleasure to have you around here. We're really glad to have you, and we're looking forward to seeing you now kick on to new levels. You've achieved that debut, and we spoke about it before. You know, in your head you wanted to be this, that, and hitting all these targets and what it looked like. And I think I remember I said to you, this was never about the product on the field, getting you back here. Like, from where you've come from to even stepping foot on that field is amazing. And, you know, I said how proud I was of you, and you should have been really proud of yourself for that. But, you know, we're also in that mindset of how competitive you are. It's gone now. Now we want to keep going up and up and up whilst becoming the best person you possibly can.
I think just touching on that as well, don't forget to enjoy life now. Yeah, of course. And I think that's what I was doing a lot. I always wanted this. And before you get to this, you need to enjoy that. Yeah. And we speak about that a lot, you know. I'm so, like, focused on the outcome. I don't enjoy the process. But I feel like that was my debut. Yeah. And now I'm just enjoying life again. I'm enjoying training. It's taken a little bit of pressure off, actually finally getting through a game in 4 years. But just enjoy the now. Like, that is my biggest advice to everyone. Be present. Yeah, enjoy the now.
It's so true, mate. Like, every person I speak to older than me that I would look up to within this game always say the same thing when they're coming towards the back end of the career. They wish they'd have enjoyed it more. They wish they'd have had time to just sit, stop and enjoy it. There's a quote from Jimmy Carr that I'll share. You know, it's not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of the pursuit. And that's exactly what we're speaking about now. Just getting to that point. The goalposts are always going to move out there. We're always going to want more because we're humans. That's always going to happen. I think you've just absolutely nailed it, mate. Being able to be present and enjoy each moment as it is. I think it changes your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, perspective. 100% does. 100%.
Now, just moving back onto a little bit of the mental health side, mate. We spoke about it never being just an upwards trajectory for anybody. There's always going to be bumps in the road. Yeah. And there's always going to be times where you feel like, God, this is going really well. Something happens, and you're like, oh, no. And it's about getting back onto that horse and carrying on that movement forward and progressing. Yeah. How do you deal with that, and what's something that you would look to if you do hit a bump in the road? How do you get back on track?
So if you asked me that a few years ago, I would have said...
Hello, it's going.
No, I won't say that. No, if you asked me the same question a few years ago, or when I was quite immature, I'd go off the rails and, you know, this, and throw my tellies out the court. Now I see everything as a test. Yeah. Like every single thing. You know, I come back pre-season. I've been out that long pre-season. My 4th week, and went and did my hamstring.
Yeah.
Put me out 10 weeks. Seen it as a test. I come back that week, got knocked out. Seen it as a test. Come back again, got knocked out, and I thought, okay, instead of thinking, why is this happening to me, which everyone does, you know, we're all bad for it. Why is this happening to me? You just can't think like that. You just got to think, this is a test. And I think that's what keeps me on track, like every single day now. If something goes wrong, it's just testing me, you know. And I think that has been the biggest thing for me, is seeing every little thing as a little challenge instead of a shit, why has it happened?
I just want to touch on, you just said that so like nonchalant, like, yeah, come back, did my army, come back, got knocked out, come back, knocked out. Do you know when you step outside of that, it was actually so much bigger, and it would have been so easy for you to go, this isn't for me, like, I'm not doing this, there's not a chance. Because go back to before you went on Love Island, you'd done your hammy, needed an operation.
Yeah.
You was lowest point ever, so that's your last experience in rugby league. Yeah. You've come back, again, that journey we spoke about, thinking, I'm coming into this, let's
It's
do it.
going to be a fairy tale. And
and then boom, your hamstring's gone in training, when you've been flying. It's massive. It must have a massive effect in your own headspace somewhere along the lines. You must have thought, God, you know, this is rough, this. Because I did for you, and then you come back, got knocked out, and I thought, he's made of some strong stuff here. Like, this kid ain't going to give in.
Yeah.
Was there any doubt at any point in your mind going through that? Did you go straight back to Cass when you did your hamstring, and you threw everything and thought, I'm going, I'm done?
No, not one bit.
I think it's a testament to the work you've done, that, isn't it?
I think it's more of a dark place where I come from. I never want to go back. So I'll never let myself get defeated.
Yeah.
Whatever is thrown at me, I don't want it to beat me. So I think you have to stay strong, or or whatever, you know. That if you lose your head, that'll win, you know. So this is a process. I'm in this, and I'm going to give it my all.
Yeah.
And if something don't work out, but I know I'll give it my best shot.
Yeah. We'll just move outside of rugby for a little bit. Spoke earlier about finding out who we are as people without rugby, and just want to touch on the work you're doing outside of rugby, with No Limits, Claire and Denham especially. Shout out Denham. I've seen firsthand the impact that you have on Denham, his family, the other people you work with.
Yeah.
It's an absolute testament to yourself, mate, the impact that you can have on them. We know, we've spoke about how much that means to you. I want to speak about what it means for you, because that was never in the forefront of your mind. This was purely a selfless thing. You wanted to go and help. You wanted to go make people's lives better, and you don't get anything from that. What does that give you?
You know, I actually started that job. I come to a point where I was pretty stuck, and I needed to give back. I felt like I need to do good to feel good, and start doing unselfish things. Yeah, is that how you say it? And I seen a few of the boys do whatever, and I seen there was a company, No Limits, and I thought this could be the thing for me. I wouldn't mind doing this, you know. And I remember my first day of that job, and I literally, like, Denham is my little brother now. You know, you've seen me and him together. We're like, it's actually crazy. He's come into my life and almost changed my mindset on every single thing. And no, I can't thank that lad enough. You know, I can never. I try and make his life better now, because he saved me.
Yeah.
So, I had Asia last night for my birthday. Me and my mum. He comes along with his mum. Like, I want him to experience a good life. I want him to you know, experience everything, because that boy deserves the world, you know. So I think I've gone off track here, but yeah.
No, it's good.
No, honestly, I love my job. I love making people feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Me seeing people happy, especially with the lads I work with the disabilities they've got, me putting a smile on their face is everything, and I wake up every day now to do that. I look forward to that. I make sure I get up early and go to the gym myself so I'm better for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just roll out of bed and turn up to look after them, because, you know, I won't be the best person for them, so they just drive me to be a better person and be my best.
Yeah, I think I can absolutely vouch for the impact that especially Denham has on you when you're around him. His energy is so infectious, isn't it? And
he just matches energy.
when we went to Malham Cove, we was walking around with us, speaking around, you know, and singing, and everyone's on their little hikes, and we didn't have a care in the world. And it goes back onto, we didn't care what anybody thought of us that day. And I seen that as Denham brought that out of us. And he's such a special person, and yeah, the impact he has on others around him is amazing. But I just think the impact that you're having, mate, is it shouldn't go unnoticed, and you know, you should be proud of yourself for that, mate. You are making their lives so much better.
Thank you.
To wrap up, mate, obviously back to Mental Health Awareness Week. Obviously, thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed it. But if I'm going to leave this on a final message, mate, if anybody is struggling or on the fence with any emotions or not knowing how to handle a situation, mate, obviously, what would you say to them if you sat down with someone one-to-one now? What's your message?
Honestly, my message, the way I speak to myself now is it's just a test and the dark cloud passes. You know, and there's always a rainbow after a storm or a bit of rain. So just make sure you're getting ready for the rainbow, like, because it's going to come. It has to come. But you have to make it happen as well. You can't think life's going bad, even when it's going bad. We're all a victim of it. Yeah. But just stay strong, and like, you'll come out the other end.
Yeah,
just perspective. Make it happen. Yeah,
perspective 100%. Is massive, isn't it? I think for me, gratitude is something that it plays such a big part in my life now, mate. Is you know, every morning is writing 2 or 3 things that I'm grateful for. And, you know, I woke up this morning. That's a gift in itself, you know. And I think that's really important and powerful for me to get my day started well. But moving past that, if anybody out there is struggling and, you know, like I said, you're on the fence with your emotions, please reach out. There's plenty of great people out there who will listen and do care about you, and just know that you're enough.